segment, we have a PvP analysis on the January 2022 new Shadows. As you guys know, we are currently, right now, in a Team Go Rocket takeover event. We got a bunch of new Shadow Pokemon, and let's get into the PvP article and see how good these guys are when it comes to a PvP analysis. First up, we have Shadow Meganium. It is a Grass-type Pokemon, of course. Most forgettable movie, mostly forgettable movie, but hard to forget Pokemon. Meganium has sat and watched other grass get a shadow release while awaiting its turn, and now that turn has finally arrived. Meganium has been quite good in PvP for a long time and has stayed relevant in very large part thanks to the unique coverage of Earthquake. As it does for the recently invigorated Whaleren, Quake gives a grass-like Meganium reach against things that plague other grasses, especially steels and fires, especially things like Registeel and Alolan Marowak in Great League, and Melmetal, Registeel, Magnezone, and Ferrothorn in Ultra League. As I discussed in my recent PvP review of Venusaur, Venusaur is arguably the best and most consistent Frenzy Plant user, but Meganium is very close, especially in Ultra League, where Meganium and Venusaur are neck and neck. Meganium has advantages not just against steels and fires, but also uses Quake to overcome Origin Giratina, Armored Mewtwo, and Gallade that Venusaur struggles with. Venusaur's standout wins are versus fighters and fairies primarily, owing to its poison subtyping and or Sludge Bomb. Anyway, all that to set the stage for the potential of Shadow Meganium. I've got good news and not so good news. The good is that Shadow Meganium looks like an overall upgrade to regular Meganium in Great League. New wins including Dewgong, Mastodon, Shadow Hypno, Scrafty, Obstagoon, Vigoroth, Wigglytuff, Coffergigas, but the slashed bulk means that Shadow Meganium now loses some of its former standout wins to include Alolan Marowak, Whaleren, Umbreon, and Mew. On the flip side, with shields down, it is Shadow Meganium that gets win over Alolan Marowak and Umbreon, as well as Sableye, Cresselia, Sylveon, and Pelipper, while non-Shadow instead lasts long enough to take out Hypno, Medicham, Coffergigas, and Drapion. Blah blah blah. Shadow Meganium does again have a greater number of wins. Do note, however, that even that is not absolute, as in 2 vs 2 shielding, non-Meganium leaves Shadow Meganium behind, and that trend continues in Ultra League, where Shadow Meganium trails behind non-Shadow, uniquely overcoming Defense Deoxys and Bronzong, but losing to Origin, Giratina, Armored Mewtwo, Ferrothorn, Registeel, Obstagoon, Shadow Machamp, and Sylveon in 1 vs 1 shielding. The story is better with shields down, where Shadow and non-Shadow are on pretty equal ground, as well as Shadow versus non-Shadow in 2 vs 2 shielding. But overall, the gap in the important 1 vs 1 shielding shows that Meganium really misses having its bulk and advantage in Ultra when run out there as a Shadow. So, what's the verdict? Shadow Meganium looks like mostly an upgrade in Pokemon in Great League, though not perfectly so. I think it's worth trying to get a good one under 1500 CP while it's available. However, in the Ultra League, it's a side grade at best, and it's probably more accurate to call it a slight downgrade overall. I'm not saying it's not worth building, but in my mind, it's a much lower priority, especially considering the exorbitant cost. Up to you if it's worth it or not, my friend.